diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are presented by the Hula Bowl. Today I have with me Aakiel Greer. He's a wide receiver out of St. Augustine. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Blessed to be here.
Great. So St. Augustine, Division II, I believe, HBCU out there for people who don't know. So going up against some decent competition there for sure. Aakiel, got you listed, man. You're pretty big wide receiver, man. About 6'4", 200 pounds. So we'll talk about more of you as a receiver. But before we get there, man, give me like a brief summary if you don't mind.
All right, man. For those of you out there, my name is Aakiel Greer. I'm from Kosciuszko, Mississippi. Grew up, born and raised. I went to 3 schools. I went to Delta State first. Then I transferred, went to Kahoma Community College, and then ended it here at St. Augustine University. And it's pretty much me.
Great. So, I mean, obviously now at St. Augustine, again, like I said, pretty big wide receiver. So, I mean, I don't know, how would you define yourself as a prospect? What do you feel is like the best thing you got going for you?
I feel like I'm very interchangeable. I can play outside and I can play in the slot. So I feel like I can be used in multiple ways. And I also play on special teams as well. So I pretty do whatever.
What kind of special teams do you mean? What are we talking about there?
I'm the gunner on punt. I participated on kickoff team, go off and make tackles. I was on field goal team, had to stand in there and block for the kicker, as well as on field goal block as well. So pretty much all special teams.
All right. And so again, with you as a wide receiver, I'm just kind of trying to figure it out a little bit. So, I mean, as a kid, like who are you, I don't know, who did you really look up to as a kid, like, in the league? Like, who do you feel like you're I don't know, who's like the best wide receiver, I guess, that you try and model your game after?
Growing up, like my younger years, it was Terrell Owens, but like as of like recent, like now, it's been Julio Jones.
Gotcha. Both are probably some of the greats like ever to get it done. So I mean, do you feel like you're that type of a guy, or you just got to give them props for being such excellent players? So
I got to give them their props. I just pray that I be as good as them one day, but I would definitely work to try to get there. But I got to give them their props. I ain't there yet.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's only a few people at that level. That's like Hall of Fame-esque level. So that's what you got with those types of players. So, Aakiel, I mean, I do want to chat with you about something. Obviously, a lot of the small school guys that I talked to, they didn't have any ball in 2020. I mean, they sat at home, didn't really have anything going on because of this pandemic. So kind of just want to get your feel for like how maybe that 2020 season hit you with the whole COVID-19, and how you stayed motivated during all that time.
Basically, in 2020, and I think I speak for all football players that didn't play in 2020. If 2020 didn't make you hungry, then I just think football. I just feel like you don't truly love it, because it was like very heartbreaking, to have football taken away from you, and then you have to sit at home and watch Division Ones, like Power 5 teams play. They played every Saturday. You had to watch the big schools like Alabama, Clemson. They play every Saturday while you're at home, not playing because of the same virus. So it's like you just had to stay prepared mentally and physically. Like you had to live, and you have to like mentally prepare yourself and just tell yourself that, hey, football's coming back. We don't know when, but they're gonna allow us to play too. So it was very hurtful.
So again, like you said, I mean, obviously nothing in 2020, but 2021. I mean, you're out there, you're playing. So you said that you had mentioned just a little bit there about trying to keep yourself going, maybe get in the weight room and stuff. So let's chat about that for just a second. I mean, when you're hitting the weight room, what's your goal there in the weight room, and maybe just kind of highlight your favorite lift if you don't mind.
Well, when I go to the weight room, I'm just basically I'm determined. I go there. I usually, put have a music playlist going, to get me kind of, pumped up or whatever. And usually I just go there. I get work done. Once you hit the weight room, it's like ain't no time for games, basically. And basically, I love to do all lifts, but I guess my favorite lift is like my favorite lifts are like explosion lifts because I feel like football is a game of who's the most explosive. Usually, whichever team is the most explosive or makes the most explosive plays usually wins. So I feel like football is all about explosion. So I love anything dealing with explosion.
Gotcha. So, and obviously part of the whole weekly preparation is also in the film room. So, why don't you maybe give me an example of studying in the film room, studying for one of your opponents there, and it really panning out like during a game time situation. So you got something like that that you could share?
Okay, yeah, I can. Well, during the beginning of the week, Monday, you find out who you're gonna play, and usually, well, what I do since I'm a receiver, I watch the team's defense, pick out coverages, pick out blitzes with the quarterback, and then I watch the whole secondary because, like I said before, I play inside and outside. So I watch what the corners' tendencies, I watch the linebackers' tendencies, and the safeties' tendencies, and try to just visualize the plays that we're going to be running, as well as the stuff they do on film, whether the team I'm watching, if they run the same formation or the same type of plays. I kind of just, write down notes and just visualize myself making plays before Saturday gets here. And usually 9 times out of 10, once it's game day, everything that I've been studying, it works to a T. So.
Gotcha. So tell me about maybe one of your best moments out there on the field. What do you feel has been your best highlight? Like if you had to share, one of those moments of you out there playing for either Delta or St. Augustine, what's been your, most favorite collegiate moment?
My most favorite is kind of hard. I feel like I got two, honestly.
That's fine. Go ahead and hit me with them.
They both happened at St. Aug. In 2019, we beat Fayetteville State, who at the time they were ranked, and they were the top team in the division. And you can say the game-winning catch. They set up a game-winning field goal, and that was like probably one of the best moments of my collegiate career. And then my senior year, we won our Raleigh Classic against our in-town rival, Shaw University, which we hadn't beat them. They hadn't been beat since 2017, and I was a part of that. And that was my last game of my collegiate career, so I went out with a bang. So those are like my two most memorable moments.
That's great. I mean, obviously, for people who don't know, I mean, both of those programs, Shaw and Fayetteville, both of those two, they have some really great defenses for sure. So you gotta give them some props for doing that. But again, closing things out the way you did, getting those great plays, gotta love it. So. Aakiel, I want to ask you a couple questions. They're kind of somewhat, I don't know, maybe psychological, if you want to say. But one of them is, if we were to maybe go back in time a little bit, talk maybe to your younger self. I mean, obviously, you came into college, you went to Delta State, you eventually transferred there to St. Augustine. What sort of advice would you give your younger self back in high school?
I would tell my younger self to stay focused and stay hungry and to work hard, because I feel like I feel like my younger self, I really didn't work hard, and like compared to now, I work for everything. Like I basically overwork myself, to try to achieve what I want to achieve. So I would tell my younger self to stay focused on the task at hand and to work hard. So I would tell myself.
Gotcha. And obviously, throughout your career, you've also had a lot of great coaches that have helped mold you into the person and player that you are. Um, Tell me about maybe the best lesson you've ever learned from one of those guys.
Um, Basically, they've all of them had their different philosophies, but for the most part, well, I can pretty much just name them. Coach Cooley was my very first coach out of Delta State. Shout out to Coach Cooley. He taught me like the importance of a team. Like it's supposed to be like family. It's supposed to be a family atmosphere, and that's what we broke it down on. Everything we did, we were breaking down on family, and I feel like he taught me like the importance of what a true team's supposed to feel like. It's supposed to be a family atmosphere. And then my Kahoma coach, Coach, ooh, it's been a minute. Coach Wilson, shout out to him at Kahoma, but him and Coach Alot, they basically taught me in JUCO that everything is going to be a grind. Like you got to work for what you want. In JUCO, that's a 2-year school, and you're not promised anything. You're not promised playing time or anything, and you can get cut at any moment. So basically, you have to work hard. Like everything you do, like you're being watched. And I feel like that JUCO life kind of prepared me for like now trying to play football professionally. Everything you do, you're being watched. You're under a microscope. So they taught me that. And then at St. Augustine, Coach Bowser, it's basically he taught me like you have to be accountable for your actions. Everything, the choices you make, reflect you. Nobody else's but you. So he basically taught me you get out what you put in. So those
Gotcha.
all.
Gotcha. So I mean, again, some guys that have really instilled a whole lot into you, and have made you into the person that helped make you into the person that you are. Let's go ahead and I am curious about who Aakiel Greer is outside of a football player. So tell me just a little bit about yourself, maybe some interests, some hobbies, something fun, maybe not everybody knows about you that you want to share. Go for it.
Aakiel Greer outside of football, he's a very, very goofy person. I'm very outgoing. I love to travel. I love playing video games. It's almost like I'm a kid at heart, even though I'm a grown up. It's almost like I'm like a kid at heart. Love having fun. I love putting smiles on people's faces. And something that a lot of people don't know about me, I actually love to dance. I love to dance.
Okay.
Yeah, I love to dance and sing. So that's like a fun fact about me. So.
I mean, obviously, as a wide receiver, I'm pretty sure you bring a few of those dance moves to the field. I mean, whenever you get into the end zone, for sure. So that's obviously fun. A kid growing up in Mississippi, tell me a little bit about your hometown, man. Like, if I were to come visit you in Mississippi, what would I have to do? Where would I have to go?
Well, basically, Kosciuszko, Mississippi it's not a very, very big city, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, there are places there, I'll say there are good places there to eat. But if you were to come visit Kosciuszko, Mississippi, I would have to take you to Jackson. Because that's like where everything is, like the malls, like, places for fun, to skate.
Right.
I'll probably Jackson.
Good. So I was sitting here trying to think of something else maybe to share. So you got like maybe a favorite movie or something, like something that you like to watch, each and every time it comes on TV, or you just kind of want to get on Netflix every so often and watch the same movie or show.
I have so many movies, but my overall favorite movie would be The Temptations, like with David Ruffin. All those guys, because like I said, I love to sing and dance, so that's like one of my top movies. So I watch The Temptations.
Nice. So an old soul. It sounds like here that what we got in Aakiel Greer. So, hey man, as we begin to wrap up, I try my best to ask everybody this question. It's really just the why question, and the why question really meaning like, why do you do what you do? Why do you play this game of football? And who or what motivates you the most?
My why with football will basically be my family. They've sacrificed so much for me to even be in this position, to be in college, where very few people make it. I'm just blessed, blessed to have parents who care so deeply for me, to try to make everything happen for me. So my parents would be my why. That's like the reason I play, reason I go so hard. So.
Great. And final question for you, Bud, is with all these scouts that may actually be sitting down, actually watching this video, or maybe those guys that you might actually eventually sit down and talk to, what would you tell them as to why they need to take a chance on you? Go ahead and give me your pitch to all those professional teams out there as to why they need to bring you into their franchise.
Basically, if they bring me in, they're bringing a good character guy, a very coachable guy, and a team first guy. Like, I would just be blessed, to even have a chance to compete. Somebody who would come eager and ready to work, ready to learn, a very interchangeable player, like I said once before, can play receiver, inside, outside. If they ask me to move positions, I can do that as well. Just anything I could do in my power to help the team win, I would do. So they would get a guy who isn't afraid to lay it on the line. And that's what I'm gonna try to showcase at these All-Star games as well.
Gotcha. I mean, obviously, a guy who's been through the grind, and is willing to continue to work is really what you're getting. I mean, again, I feel like, with you and, your history, I mean, just kind of grinding away at stuff, staying hungry and motivated, despite transferring, despite going through JUCO. And another thing I feel you got going for you, man, is your size. I mean, you really can't teach that. I mean, and you got a guy about 6'4", 200 pounds. I mean, a huge target to throw to, whether it's, on the deep ball or, as an end zone threat, red zone threat. So definitely think that you got that going for you for real. So Aakiel, thank you so much for sitting down with me for this interview. Appreciate your time. Best of luck to you moving forward. All right.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. Again, I have with me Aakiel Greer. He's a wide receiver out of St. Augustine. Definitely check him out.